You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason. I want to go ahead and say ahead of time, sorry. No, we don't have gas, but
what?
Because we have people working on our bathroom downstairs, and
I don't think anyone would jump to the sound being gas.
I've heard it through the headphones, and it's like they're doing drills. They have drills going. It's this hammer drill, and from up here through the microphone, I think it sounds like
someone out like right from the beginning. We just lost half of our listeners.
Wouldn't be the first time. It's like the last 3 videos we've done. It's like we're trying to lose followers.
We are renovating our main bathroom, and it is about time because it is all original from 1981. Nice. I'm super excited. Yeah. We're doing it kind of on a strict budget and we got everything from like big box stores. So we'll see how it turns out.
Well, anyway, that's why there's going to be
see the disgust in my face.
Some random noises. Hopefully, the bathroom situation doesn't turn into something that we had to learn the hard way.
I don't know. I think we already have started learning. Basically, with any home renovation, they like get into it and they're like, well, this isn't going to work out. You could fix it if you pay an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah. Oh,
so
also,
we're there. We're already there. I wanted the soffits gone. There was like a tiny pipe going into one of the soffits, and he was like, well, I could reroute it. It would be like, I don't know, couple,
$2, $3, $4, $500.
Like,
it's like, wait, those are jumping by hundreds.
Okay, yeah, couple, sure.
How'd you go from 2 to 5? I don't really understand, but it seems to happen on any project we have.
There was another thing. I don't know. Yeah.
The noises are coming in strong right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
we don't know where we are.
That sounds like gas.
It doesn't. And stop saying the word gas. Like that's so much worse than any other word for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think most people would disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Well, anyway. Well, we've learned some things the hard way in our journey called life, haven't we, Emily?
I'd say a few.
It seems
and
like
we're only 36, so I don't know what that says about our personalities.
Maybe that means our future is going to be great, or maybe it's just a perpetual, we're always just going to learn things the hard way. I don't know if we will ever stop, because it seems to be a theme in our life.
So I watched a couple of our podcasts, or little snips of them, and you were so good about making eye contact with the audience.
Yeah.
And now, like, I'm trying to do that, but I feel like I'm giving
with the camera
too much. Yeah.
We post this on YouTube as well.
Sorry,
some people might not be aware.
Now I'm like doing it too much. I'm like really trying to include you.
For listeners, it doesn't matter. But people on YouTube, they're gonna be like, "What in the heck is happening?
Why is she
staring into my soul?"
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you learned the hard way by watching yourself that you never look at the camera, and you told me that I touch the microphone too much, so I'm being very conscious of not grabbing and adjusting the microphone.
You're just always like adjusting it.
It helps me. I don't know, deflect vulnerability.
Okay, well, I watched myself, and I'm constantly yawning, rubbing my face, and
I tell you that,
like sort of. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just, like the little edge pick where you like take your thumb and rub it along the rim of your nose.
Yeah,
it's not
picking your nose. Yeah,
it's not a pick.
Yeah,
it's a. I don't know.
What are you doing when you do that? It's picking.
I'm not picking. I'm just.
I'm just grabbing my nostrils.
Yeah, I know there's nothing there. I just didn't want it to show up in the camera if there was something there.
Jabbing my finger up in there.
I'm just like, touching my face. I don't know.
No.
Anyway, we're going to do better.
So,
know better, do better.
We kind of came up with a list. Some of them are mine. Some of them are yours. One of yours was don't set your expectations too high. For learning things the hard way. And you kind of made a list from there. Our wedding, of course, we've talked about. Our honeymoon. I'm starting to see a theme, and it just goes down the line until it gets to Jason?
No, that is not true.
Don't set your expectations too high, especially when choosing a husband.
That is not true. But relationally, yes.
You're like,
whenever
actually, yeah, you really shouldn't.
No, but people get these thoughts in their head of how someone should act or treat them on a special day, and I'm not saying you don't do a great job of those things, but basically we allow ourselves to dream up all these crazy, I don't know, scenarios, thoughts. It's the life of Instagram.
It's a fairy tale too. Like, you grow up on Disney princesses and you expect, I mean, we don't know anything about those princes. They could have been real jerks. Like Cinderella, we don't know anything about him. Snow White, I mean,
who's going to the woods kissing some random
who's
chick?
asleep?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, we don't know anything about these guys, and we grow up, you know, thinking that's how things are.
No, I really think a big part of it for me when I was, you know, younger and married, like in my early 20s, was just social media, the social media trap. People posting only the very best, and so then your brain fills in the gaps, and you think, "Wow, they're living like this just magical life, and there are no problems, everything's great." And that's just not true, you know? And so whenever I was younger, I was filling in these gaps of other people's lives and comparing my life to it and having expectations of it matching that. So I guess it's sort of like don't compare yourself and don't have too high of expectations, because
that's the construction.
It just isn't, you know, like when you have lower expectations, you're more likely to be happy. Like,
and we have the happiest marriage ever.
No, for me, that's just one thing I've learned, and it's not necessarily about marriage. It's about holiday gathering and how magical you expect it to be versus reality.
I do think there's a line. I think there's a sense in which you should have high expectations for certain things. You should expect more of people. Sometimes you should expect more of things. How often are we disappointed at like shows we go to or events where like we're catering this and the food is subpar or whatever?
I can pretty well guess that the food's going to be subpar anyway.
But why?
The problem, because I'm a good cook.
Oh.
I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I have cooked a lot. And so then when I'm cooking at home all the time and we have this delicious homemade food, and then you go somewhere and it's like mass produced.
I always think an establishment's food is going to be grand because it's what they do.
Yeah.
And it's my expectation. I learned the hard way.
It's not even worth it to me to eat out. Unless it's some sort of really ethnic that I am not used to cooking.
Right.
Like, I love
very
cooking.
Authentic.
Yeah, I love cooking Indian food.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm really doing it right. My food doesn't taste like an Indian restaurant. So going to an Indian restaurant to me is totally worth it because I love
your Indian food is wonderful. Tastes great. Going to an Indian restaurant is a completely different experience.
I do feel like I've mastered Thai food though.
Yeah.
I've got
there's a lot of dishes we haven't tried, but
okay, the Thai dishes, Thai curries.
Red curry.
I've made green curries.
Well, yeah, that's good.
I've made other things.
Yeah.
Remember that time that my mom and I made authentic Chinese food?
Oh man.
From scratch.
It took you like 4 hours.
Took us all day.
Yeah.
And then it was eaten in 20 minutes. And then the mess was just like
it was crazy
massive.
watching you guys clean that up.
But it was so good.
I'm just kidding. No,
but you can't do that every day.
We only watch people clean up from my side of the family. Your side of the family is like, I have to help clean. No.
That was one of the
expectations.
Yeah. In our marriage, but you've met
the women made a mess. The women ought to clean it up. No, that is not how we operate. Yeah, I think there's a couple of times where we had a fairly mediocre, I don't know, expectations. I tell this story sometimes, like when we went to Rome when we came back from Korea. I didn't know what to expect, so I didn't really have high expectations or low expectations. But it was so cool because we got there late at night, and I didn't know where we were exactly. And we step out of our hotel
in the morning.
The next morning, and I walk out. We both walk out, and we look to our left, and it's the Colosseum.
And it was so massive and grand and like, just beautiful.
That whole trip just defied my expectations on a level I didn't know was possible. It was amazing.
And I think being someone who's traveled so much and seen so many cool things, that has actually hurt me because...
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah. I'm like, well...
We're going on a day trip to
nothing can ever
Central
live up
Kentucky.
to that. Yeah. It's kind of sad. I mean, when you've gone to like a Broadway show and then you go to like a little local production, you should know what you're getting.
It's not the same.
They don't even have the resources to make it that, but I'll be disappointed.
Actually,
we've paid for Broadway shows that are traveling through Paducah, and I'm like, how? What?
Yeah.
What
happened?
What happened? Particularly Winnie the Pooh. That was crazy. That was the craziest experience. Listen,
I want some honey.
I don't really know how he got the part. Maybe a lot of people didn't audition. He talked like Mario instead of Pooh Bear. He was really trying.
There was a stereotypical Italian accent
some honey.
Mixed with Pooh Bear falsetto.
So strange and so distracting.
Yeah.
The very worst.
I will be honest, I didn't have high expectations of Winnie the Pooh. It was, not exactly what I wanted to go see.
The tickets were like $75 each, maybe more.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Well, prices don't up my expectations anymore. Let's just say
for me, they do. If I'm paying a lot for something, and I'm like, this is going to be good.
Well, we saw Wicked in London and paid a lot for that. Like, we shouldn't have spent that much money. We did.
Well, I think we were just like, we're here, only once.
And that blew me away.
Yeah,
it was
that was
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We got the cheapest seats in the house.
Well, yeah. It was still really expensive. What in the world did we just pay for? That's crazy.
We went back the next night, not to see Wicked, to see Les Mis.
Les Mis, yeah.
And I actually
definitely didn't have the money for the next show.
We were just so overwhelmed by the beauty and amazingness.
YOLO. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we actually paid more because we were like, well, if it was that good in the least expensive tickets, we should.
Then our expectations got a little too high.
And then we were like, yeah.
Yeah. It was...
Just got to keep your expectations.
But we do expect that quality of the local Paducah theater. It's like, that's a little unfair.
Yeah.
To them.
But I think our theater's great. They do a great job.
Yeah. Say what you want. Don't leave people guessing.
That, for me, and I'm still not very good at that. I just noticed that the happiest people around me state what they want. Like, they make it known instead of leaving people guessing. And I think that goes for marriage too. Like, and that helps set your expectations at an appropriate level. Like, this is what I would like, instead of leaving you guessing for what I would want for my birthday or whatever. Just tell you, I really want XYZ. That would make me feel special. That would make the day good. Like,
you still haven't done that, and your birthday's 1 week away.
That's not true. I told you
I pulled it out of you. I dragged it out of you. You did not tell me anything until like 2 days ago.
I just said I struggle with that. I struggle with saying what I want. And I think part of that's my people pleasing. I'll just go along and be like, yeah, whatever you think, whatever you want,
But it ultimately leaves you dissatisfied. Or unhappy.
Even sometimes with hurt feelings. Because I expect people to read my mind.
Yeah.
And that's just not reality.
How many times have we had that conversation? Like, just say what you want. You're like, I just thought you would know.
And it's in small, like, daily things, too. Just like, I'll make a suggestion. Hey, would you like to go to the park with the boys? Nah, not right now. Or whatever. Something like that has happened where we're like driving by the park. I'm like, do you want to stop and let the boys play?
Well, how's that me having to read your mind?
I'll be like, I won't make it clear that that's what I really want to do. I'm just kind of making a nonchalant suggestion and being like, what do you think? And if you're like, not really, then I feel...
I really don't want it right now. Yeah.
Then I feel disappointed or something because I'm not like,
excuse me,
hey,
I meant to say pull over, we're going to the park.
I'm not saying you have to be commandeering and like, I want this.
Yeah.
Now, give it to me. Like, you're obviously not going to get everything what you want in your life, but I think it's important to make it known. Another example. We're having these guys work on our bathroom. And I'll just be like, yeah, whatever you think. And I've already heard myself do it. But I know that if I don't say, actually, no, I want the cubby in the shower to be longer than 12 inches. Because I think that will be better.
Did you tell them?
It doesn't matter. Yes, I did. I went back and I was like, actually, I think it would be better if it was a little bit bigger.
Good for you.
It doesn't matter to them. Why do I feel the need?
Well, it is going to be like, $200, $300, $400, $500 more. Maybe 6 or 7. It depends. 12 inches or 11 and a half. I mean, that's a $500 difference. So,
I just think I'm so bad about just saying, yeah, whatever you want, even if I have an opinion. Yeah.
I should know what you want for your birthday.
I don't even want anything, Jason.
You've never had to guess what I wanted for my birthday. You've never had to guess.
You know what I want?
What?
I want to wake up and everyone's in a good mood and the house is clean and we go for a walk.
Listen.
Through the dewy grass.
There's reality and there's fantasy, okay? You lost me at waking up in a good mood.
That's all I want. I don't even want anything.
You definitely lost me in a clean house. I'm just... Don't be too rigid. We have quite a story.
Oh,
it involves
I've
paper
shared
towels.
This. Yeah, I've shared this in my Instagram stories before, and gosh, this episode is just kind of like
potty humor.
Yeah, gross.
Ew, drills sound like toots. Disgusting. They're gonna turn it off.
So, sometimes in my crunchiness, I go to the extreme. And I just, like, it's all or nothing for me. I can't find a balanced, more flexible approach. I've gotten better about that. But
I hope, because you wrote a book about it.
I know, but especially when I first learn about something new, I'm like all in, crazy, gotta do it right. Don't want to mess up. And some things I think you do need to be like that. Like, yeah. I've always been really flexible. So, obviously, seed oils are a big topic right now. And we don't buy any seed oils.
A big topic for who?
They're a big topic. It was, I think, Robert Kennedy was on the Today Show talking about seed oils. So, like, it's come to public attention that they're clearly not good for us. They are a source of inflammation and they're basically unavoidable if you buy any sort of processed food.
Is he trying to be like the Secretary of Health or something like that? Or what? Like, what's he vying for? Like, I'm just going to get on and talk about seed oils today. Like, what's
good for him?
I mean,
spreading awareness,
I guess.
So people don't know. People still buy vegetable oil and use it for cooking.
It's made from vegetables. I mean, I see, like, listen, I know because I'm married to you, but like, I see vegetable oil. I'm like, huh, sounds like it's good for you. It's made from vegetables.
I don't. Okay. Anyway.
What?
Expectations versus reality.
Why'd you just tap my foot?
You're in my space. Look, my heel is all the way to the chair and I'm
6'2". Sorry.
You were in my space. That's why I tapped your foot.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to be quiet.
Nope.
That was a don't talk tap. Ow.
So, anyway, I think, and I have always, like, I've not bought seed oils. I don't prepare anything with any seed oils. We don't, even if we're buying something that is pre-made, I make sure that there are no seed oils in it. But sometimes if we're eating out, obviously, you don't always know what kind of oil they're cooking with. Sometimes I do know.
It's probably canola oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's cheaper.
So, and it's just added into so many things. So I have been kind of flexible with that whenever we're traveling or we're out and we get something. But I think that needs to be a hard and fast rule, like no seed oils at all, because it lingers in your system.
Wait,
so I
what?
I think that is when...
Are you making this determination now?
No, I already made this determination. I told you about it yesterday. And I already knew about this. Like, I wanted to be that way, but I didn't, because then you're being so hard and extreme.
So no more Applebee's for...
We would never. Would never. Rafferty's.
Rafferty.
No, I'm just kidding.
Seriously? Oh,
I'm kidding.
I don't even know if I've been to Rafferty's.
Anyway, so I think like sometimes you do have to be intense because it's something that will continue to affect you. And if you don't make that determination and you don't follow it, then you're not going to see the benefits.
So what have you learned the hard way on this?
Okay. So for example, paper towels. We do not use paper towels. I just bought 2 rolls of paper towels whenever we got the pop-up camper. I know. It was
bleached.
I just bought whatever was there. I don't even know. I just grabbed it. We haven't used them.
I have.
You have?
Yeah. I had to clean something up in the car. I don't know.
What?
Yeah. It was just there.
I felt it was so hard for me to put those in my car. It's been years since we bought paper towels.
You know, I'm actually on board with this one.
Really?
The paper towels one, because when we took paper towels away and then went all in on the rags or whatever, it's like, this makes sense.
Yeah,
because they don't get so gross that you can't just wash them.
Yeah.
No, wash them as their own thing. Don't
But why are we cutting down trees to make a product that we then just throw in the garbage? Like, I cannot wrap my mind around it. And I am an excessive paper towel person. When I did use paper towels, I was the type
that was using one sheet.
No, I'm like 3 paper towels to get this, whatever. I only know one person who's the chintzy paper towel user, and that's my mom. She'll like tear it in half. Actually, no, your grandmother. She dries her hands with paper towel, and then she'll like lay it out to dry, and then reuse that one to dry her hands, which I would totally do as well. But I'm thinking like, why not just use a rag? Yeah, just a hand towel.
Hand towel.
People dry their hands with paper towels, though. Like, they are washing their hands at the kitchen sink and using a paper towel to dry their hands. I'm just shocked. Anyway, I did buy paper towels for the pop-up. It was specifically for the pop-up.
You never know what kind of mess you're going to run into in a pop-up.
And you're on the road. Like, what are you going to do?
You're not going to stop at a laundromat to clean a whole bunch of rags every day.
Maybe we could. Maybe we should. Anyway, here I am going hard on.
Please don't. At least just give me this one roll.
Okay. So we gave up paper towels. We were totally out. We were done. Out of paper towels. Our dog is a gluten-free dog. She cannot have gluten. It will make her so sick in the back way. And I don't know, one night.
This isn't an explicit podcast. Keep it clean.
Got up in the morning, went downstairs.
Let's just say she might have found a glutinous crumb.
Glutinous. It was everywhere. Everywhere. The stench was so extreme.
Pungent.
And when I mean everywhere, I don't just mean everywhere. I mean, it was
not the general sense of everywhere. You know, like, oh, it was everywhere. It was like
literally everywhere. Every inch of the floor somehow had her excrement on it.
Oh, you went there. Okay.
Excrement?
You went all the way down. Hope you're not eating lunch, folks.
The rugs, everything. My uncle was on his way to see our house. I told him, like,
from Colorado.
Never mind.
Yeah.
You're just drive on past and go to my parents. Yeah. Don't stop. Do not collect $200. It was awful. Jason came up and woke me up. And he was like, Emily, Winnie had an accident. And I was like, and why are you waking me? And you're like, we don't have any paper towels.
It's not that kind of accident.
You don't understand.
This is Armageddon.
I think you said, you don't understand.
You do not understand the scope of this accident.
So I got up.
This is wake up worthy.
Yeah, I was
You were
like,
mad at first.
Oh, yeah. I was just like, seriously, you couldn't deal with it?
Then you got downstairs and you're like, oh.
At least you didn't flick me in the forehead to wake me.
There you go. Here you are, folks. There we are. Learning the hard way. Which way you don't wake up your wife. It wasn't even a hard flick.
But it was hard.
It was not.
And it was
repetitive. It was not hard like that. You're crazy.
No, it was pop,
put it up to the microphone. No way.
Yes.
No, it was like tap, 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 tap.
Why?
It was
why?
But it
Why
wasn't like this.
Forehead?
I wasn't hurting you.
Anyway.
I don't know.
You didn't.
I learned the hard way. I'll never do it again.
You didn't flick me to wake me about Winnie. But yeah, whenever I got downstairs, I was just like,
thanks for that clarification.
Oh.
We should have had paper towels on hand.
And we used vinegar to clean. And the smell of the vinegar it was so much. Anyway, okay, we've really lingered on that a long time.
Didn't we go borrow paper towels from your mom or something?
Think so.
I think we had to.
I think that was non-negotiable.
Yeah. Anyway, learn the hard way. Keep some paper towels on hand just in case you have a dog with a gluten-free diet.
Just don't go so hard into something that you
can't have a backup plan. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Your backup plans can be crunchy, but your backup plans can be whatever. Just don't let your life become the backup plan.
Yeah.
Don't live a backup plan. I felt like there was something there, and then it fizzled as I kept saying it, and I feel like it's already dead upon arrival.
I'm really self-conscious right now. As you're talking, I'm having to breathe through my mouth because I have a stuffy nose. Can you guys hear me? I'm not a mouth breather, but I don't have any room for the airway.
If you don't have something nice to say, ... Yeah,
I mean, I feel
the implication is don't say anything at all, in case you're wondering. Sorry.
That's like an elementary lesson that I feel I didn't learn.
Until high school.
Maybe even beyond.
Well, you have a story from your book.
Did we not tell this story on the podcast already?
I don't know. Go ahead.
I feel like we did.
We're 19 episodes in. We can repurpose stories. Go ahead.
All right. So I had this math teacher. She got a perm. It was not the hairstyle for her. It was distracting in math class with her perm. It was bothering me.
That's weird.
Actively just hard to listen.
That's strange that it bothered you so much.
Yeah, I know. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, sweet person, sweet teacher. We did
But it wasn't the perm itself. It was the blue that came along with it. And blue hair?
No.
I thought you said her hair was blue because of the perm.
No.
Oh.
No. That was a different. That up. No, there was a different teacher. Whenever I was in middle school, she did a tint. Like old people did this rinse. I
don't think it was on purpose.
The blue?
Yeah.
It was you added blue color to bring out the certain undertones of gray or white or something.
Like they do with marshmallows?
Yes, it's something that old women did.
But it just came out as blue and not white.
Yeah, basically.
Interesting.
If you didn't do it right.
I thought this was the same person.
Nope, this lady had blonde hair.
Oh. So really, you're just mean.
I was mean. I needed Jesus in my heart. And I just, her husband came up and was like, hey, do you know such and such? And I was like, yeah, about that perm. And he hated the perm as well. So he died laughing.
Yeah.
And then told her that I said something about her perm. I was like, please don't tell her. Promise me you won't tell her. I shouldn't have said that.
He used that as a gateway. He's like, oh, this is my chance. He's been wanting to say that to her for years.
No, the perm was fresh. She had never had a perm.
Oh.
She didn't need a perm. It wasn't
He's been wanting to say that for hours.
Days, weeks. Anyway.
He was like, finally.
I can tell her.
I can say something.
He was just like, no, I'm guessing
Emily,
he was
you have
probably
given
like,
me this gift.
No, I'm guessing he was probably like, it's not my favorite, dear. And then they had a fight about it. And then, I don't know. I can see it in my marriage now. But how hurtful is that? So he went home. I said, please don't tell her, please. I'm begging you.
Because you said something to him about, you didn't realize it was his wife.
I didn't know. I was just thinking it was a random person. Rude. So rude of me to even mention her hair. Like, I learned the hard way. I definitely learned my lesson. I learned it then and there. The other way that, anyway, so he told her, and then she had me stay after class to give me a talking to, which talking tos are my least favorite thing ever. So I'd rather just get in trouble. Just
go straight to the punishment.
Go straight to the punishment. I don't want to talking to.
Don't want to feel that weight of guilt.
The shame. Yeah. No, but so then the other way that I've learned it, like beyond, it's not so much like gossiping. It's more saying something to someone in a sly, underhanded way. Like
you do to me all the time.
He's joking.
I'm just kidding.
No, for example, so I had this friend that we took turns cleaning our church. She would clean it one week, I would clean it the next week. And sometimes we'd be like, hey, do you mind if I clean it this week? Because I'm going out of town next week, whatever. Anyway, this was happening during COVID. And they didn't end up meeting that week. And I said to her something like, I did a really good job last week. Do you mind if I clean it this week? Because I think it'll be really easy for me or something. It was kind of mean.
Yeah.
Because that was like insinuating that she doesn't do a good job. And
I mean, did she?
She did, but there were times that she forgot very basic things like not picking up the bulletins.
But your expectations were too high. You probably left her guessing. You were a little too rigid. You didn't have anything nice to say to her about it. We have more. This situation encompasses all of them.
Yep, I guess I definitely learned it.
And she hasn't
friends anymore.
She hasn't spoken to you since.
We're not friends.
Because of that, which I always found to be weird.
And it's
like, listen, hey, can I clean up this time? I think it'd be easier for me. I think,
I did a really good job last week.
Even if you said to her.
They did have like Bible studies and stuff. I wasn't trying to get out like totally.
Listen, even if you said to her, listen, I do think I do a little bit better of a job cleaning than you do. I don't think that's really grounds for, I'm never speaking to you again. It's a little extreme.
I don't know.
Imagine if she was like that with all of her relationships. I mean, she's not going to make it out of the gas station.
I think she has plenty of friends. Me excluded. I don't know. I think I just wasn't as humble and kind as I should have been. And it has bitten me in the butt a few times. So.
I was bitten in the butt.
By a dog maimed?
I was maimed in the butt by a dog named Root Beer. Yeah, I learned the hard way. When you're cleaning a bathroom at a park, don't walk too close to the dog that's chained up in the bathroom. You never know if it's gonna bite you on the butt.
I wish I was there for that.
You were just on the other side.
I was in the other bathroom cleaning. Wow, lots of bathroom cleaning topics. That should have been the topic of this.
Our life has been so crappy.
Public bathrooms have you cleaned?
You like that? Don't think you're always right. That one was mine. When I was yeah.
That wasn't mine because I am
certainly
always
wasn't
right.
mine. I already know. If you don't have when I was young, especially, I mean, I guess I still deal with it now. Man, that is a miter saw downstairs? I'm not sure.
Are we posting this for sure?
I don't know how much it's actually going to show up in the background. It might just be in my other ear.
Okay.
So we might be referencing noises you guys don't even hear. So sorry.
Add in sound effects.
Yeah. Anyway, so sorry. I do struggle with always thinking I'm right or that my opinion is the best opinion in a given situation. I was especially bad when I was young. And of course, I came out of, I came into the world from my child world thinking that everybody who didn't think the way I thought was just, I thought they were dumb. And I quickly learned in college that most people don't think the way I do and that I am not right about a lot of things. Don't really have any specifics. It's just kind of this, years long realization that, and I've come to the conclusion, mostly in my 30s, I think, that, man, I don't know a lot. And there's, most people know more than I do about a lot of things. I know a lot about some things, but man, I am wrong. I am not as informed as I would like to be about, name a topic. And, I used to be able to just form an opinion about any topic and think I was right.
Without even being educated about it?
Yeah. And I still find myself doing that sometimes, which I think as you're older, you're able to do that a little more just through wisdom because most of the time you're talking to younger people who think they know everything. I do think it's a young person's problem, typically. I mean, it does grow with people, I'm sure, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to be 70 years old and just like look back at I wonder about myself now. Like, am I 70 years old looking at my 37-year-old self and think, man, he was an idiot? Like, I don't think I'm an idiot now, but I probably will in a few years. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't think you will. I don't think you're an idiot.
Thanks.
I'm the opposite. I just assume that I don't know.
It's probably setting your expectations low.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah, my opinion doesn't really matter. But then it's bad because sometimes I do know, and sometimes I do have the knowledge.
Maybe that's a lack of confidence in yourself.
Probably. But one of my biggest pet peeves is when I am right. I know I'm right, especially about nature or something where like on a nature walk and I'm like, that's such and such. And someone's like, no, actually, that's such and such. I'm like, no. I know that it's such and such. I don't fight like that. I'm like, oh, really? But I know in my head.
Your mind is screaming.
Whisper to the person next to me, I promise it's such and such. Yeah, no, it does drive me crazy when I know for sure I'm right, but that's kind of rare.
Yeah.
But I could see that in our marriage. You've kind of changed in that you definitely used to always think you were right. And now you're more open to.
I'm open, I guess, to you being right sometimes. I guess. If I have to be.
When we first started dating, all we did was argue. I don't know
how we made it.
This before. I don't know.
I was mostly because you were wrong and I was right. Don't try to make your kids something they're not.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Have you learned anything the hard way, Jason?
Just one.
Just one? These are all mine.
It's because I'm right most of the time.
I feel like we should have like a little magical bring before you say the lesson so that it's really highlighted. Bring. Don't try to make your children something they're not.
We'll fix it in post. I'll say all of them separately. Bring.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really wanted my children to be outgoing and monkey dance type of children.
Wow.
I was that type of child. Like, sort of a little performer,
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids aren't that. And it took me a while to just rest in that and just be okay with it. That's not their personality.
Mm-hmm.
And that is great because they have other strengths and they are wonderful in many other aspects that I never even would have considered.
You get to see them blossom in areas you would have never thought they would have.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But they're not going to run up to random strangers and give them a hug or a high five. Or
thank goodness. Weird.
No, I love when kids are like, hi, nice to meet you, and just like give you a huge hug. It's precious.
I hate it when that happens to me. So awkward. Like, kid, I don't know you. Get away.
Your genes were the dominant genes in our babies.
Like, what are you doing? Why are your arms outstretched towards me? Stop walking towards me. Get away!
I think it's adorable. And, just that charismatic, outgoing type of little child.
Ugh.
It's
too much. Those people.
I thought I could make my kids that way.
Those kids turn into bubbly, outgoing, give you a hug kind of adults, and they're insufferable. You don't want happy people in your life. They're annoying. Go on.
Anyway, even taking my kids to events that I thought would be fun for them, say music class where it's very interactive and everyone has to take a turn. Okay, no, they actually liked Winnie the Pooh, but
our son says, I want some honey.
He was making fun of the actor, and I think he was only like 4 or 5. It cracked me up that he was in tune with that.
Yeah.
We didn't even say anything. We didn't want to spoil their view of it.
Yes, A.A. Milne was Italian.
So anyway, just trying to get them to do things like even the library read aloud time. It was so in your face, stand up, sing, everybody jump, and
they're trying to make extroverts of us all, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
My kids have never enjoyed it, not once.
Who would?
My older son would cry and hate it, and then I'd leave completely humiliated.
Like father, like son.
And I kept persisting, like, no, we are going to like these things, and it just wasn't. It's not his thing.
Well, on the same note, don't try to be something you're not.
Yes. And that was mine as well. Because, I think it goes down to the people pleasing. But you're not fooling anyone if you're just not a certain way. And you don't have to enjoy things other people enjoy. For example, I was invited on this mom weekend thing, and the other moms all wanted to go dancing, and I really wasn't into it, but I went along with it, and it was not my thing. I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed their company. I thought it was great. I really these are women that I value and respect and love, but we don't have to have the same interests. They don't, have many of my interests and my desires, like homeschooling and sourdough baking and, things like that. But that doesn't mean that we can't get along and still love each other and be friends. But I don't have to be like them, and I don't have to enjoy the same things they enjoy. And that's fine.
Yeah. I run into a lot of guys that are like super into sports. Mm-hmm. I like sports. Fine. It's cool when it's on. I'll watch it.
Particularly basketball.
Sure. Well, college basketball, yeah. Mm-hmm. Couldn't tell you a name on any teams right now. Mm-hmm. Couldn't tell you the names of coaches. And that dominates so many people's conversations, so many men's conversations. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit and watch a 4-hour game, and I'm not going to sit and watch the highlights every morning.
Uh-huh. That doesn't draw you.
Doesn't. And it's always been
I think you
a limiting
used
factor.
To be more into it when you lived with your brother, and he was super into sports. And so you tried to kind of fit that mold.
Well, and I enjoyed it, but I never got on his level. He was just sports knowledge maniac. He just knew all the things. And I was like, I don't even know how, I could tell you all the lines from Star Wars, but yeah, I don't know.
Give us a really powerful quote from Star Wars, Jason. Maybe it would serve you well if you put that knowledge to use.
Mos Eisley Spaceport. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Does that help?
No, but I do love that you say that quote whenever we're somewhere where you don't like being there. You'll just like mumble it under your breath. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. So you look around the room.
Ohio. You'll never find a more wretched hive.
Hey, we're heading to Ohio at the end of next month, and I'm really excited.
Listen, I only say that about Ohio because of the meme. There's a meme, like, I don't know.
10 worst places to live or something, and it's like, I don't know about this Ohio list.
Which all you Ohio people, all three of you who are listening, I know nothing about
I've really
Ohio.
I've barely been to Ohio.
I'm sure it's great.
I mean, it's probably better than Kentucky. It's probably the same as Kentucky.
It's probably better than
right
Western
there.
Kentucky, probably.
Yeah.
All right, last one for me. Not every friend has to be your kindred spirit.
Is that a recent discovery?
It is kind of. You can be friends with people. You can have friends. And not every one of them has to be your best friend in the world, you know?
And I think that's what I was sort of saying with that like group of moms too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does make the kindred spirits extra special.
Right.
But yeah, you can have friends and they don't have to be your best. You can still be friends.
Yeah. You just don't like tell them anything personal about yourself. Just keep it very surfacey.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm an oversharer, so I definitely tell everyone all the things and then like kind of just step it back.
Listen, a good friend to me is somebody that I can have a deep conversation with fairly quickly. Like, and it could be philosophical, it could be about my life.
What did you just do?
I picked my nose.
Just let the record show.
I did the finger swipe because my nose was itching. I wasn't grabbing
that's what I'm doing too. I just didn't remember that.
Anyway, I'm sure there are other things that we have learned the hard way, and I'm sure there's plenty of things. I mean, we still have teenagers to have. So we're going to learn a lot of things the hard way.
Yeah,
sure.
and I also think, I mean, even going along with that parenting thing that I said, like, don't make your kids something that they're not, or don't try to. Well, you also have to change your parenting based on your child.
It continues on through the rest of your life. Yeah. Well, what's something you've had to learn the hard way?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to our house being renovated and the Really Very Crunchy podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks again.
See ya.